That's right, baby. It's time for movie trailer trash. Enjoy.
Hey everybody, this is Movie Trailer Trash. I'm Bethany.
And I'm Charlie.
And we just saw the trailer for Annihilation.
Annihilation!
Starring
Natalie Portman.
And
Tessa Thompson's in it.
Poe.
Oscar Isaac.
Is that Poe? Okay.
Yep, he's
Oscar
in it too.
Isaac.
And he was also in Ex Machina, which this movie is directed and written by, what's his name? Alex Garland. And he also wrote and directed Ex Machina, which is a great movie.
Okay. Do you think I would like it? Because I haven't seen it, for those who are listening.
You would like it, but you would have to be in the right mood.
Okay.
Because it's slow and quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Very quiet, in fact. Which kind of looks like this one is going to be similar. There might be some action in this one, though.
Yeah. I think it's going to be very slow and quiet, though. Like, annoyingly slow and quiet, perhaps.
And also a thing, so this movie, is based on a novel by the same name.
Okay. That he wrote?
By Jeff Vandermeer.
Oh, somebody else wrote it. Okay.
Yes, he adapted this movie.
Okay, so that's
actually what the credit says. It doesn't say written by, it says adapted by.
It's always interesting to me, when you see interesting sci-fi movies, because I would say this is probably considered science fiction.
I would imagine.
Or like, what do you call it? Supernatural type movie, you know?
Okay.
Whenever I see those things, or especially the books, because sci-fi writers are brilliant. Like, you know, to write a sci-fi book, you got to be real good to write a good one.
that is true.
But anyway,
in order to write a good book, you have to be
good. What I'm saying is, I'm always really impressed when I go in and see a sci-fi movie, and then I didn't know what was going to happen, and then it happened and it was over, and I'm like, how on earth did somebody think of this?
So that was very vague and confusing, not unlike this trailer.
You mean that wasn't confusing? Haven't you ever seen a sci-fi movie and it's so bizarre and you're just like, how did somebody's brain think this up?
Yeah. I was just saying it was a good segue into the trailer,
okay, the trailer,
man.
I'm talking about the trailer.
Run with me with my segues to victory.
The trailer is very vague, and it's a lot of just random shots of things with a voiceover. It's hard to follow. What's
happening is at the very beginning of it, it's Natalie Portman and a few other kind of
military-looking people.
They're walking towards a giant dome-like thing that is like, it's invisible, but it's see-through, but it's like wavy colors. And
it's like that plasticky rainbow plastic. You know what I'm talking about, people?
Yeah, the plasticky rainbow plastic.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think you're just talking about saran wrap when it hits the reflection.
Well, no, there's like a...
But like that is kind of what it's like.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing that people did. Like kids would have that kind of rainbowy see-through look on like things that they had. Like
it's a jungle wrapped in magical saran wrap.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like.
And
it's like bubbly and see-through, but
they all walk through it. And
rainbowy.
What I can kind of gather by this is Natalie Portman's husband or boyfriend, I think husband, went off into this thing
Oscar
and
Isaac.
he died.
Well, no, that's not what it looks like to me.
Well, something happened to him.
He's laying in a bed with a tube in his throat.
Yeah, or something. He's unconscious. He's in a
She
coma.
said it was a suicide mission. Like, why would he go in there? It was a suicide mission.
And what seems to be happening to all these people that go in there is they are being turned into trees.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. I was going to say that. Like, it's like a shell of themselves. Like, it looks like a person in the shape of a tree.
It's like if you made a sculpture out of trees to look like someone.
Yeah, and I was noticing that too. So it's weird.
And also, by the way, if you haven't been able to tell already, neither of us have read this book.
No, yeah.
And so we're going to make wild speculations on what might or might not happen.
Okay,
at least I am, because I have a theory.
Based on the trailer, they had a bunch of guys in hazmat suits talking to Natalie Portman, asking her about it. And I think they're talking about the mysterious blob of sorts that she went into.
The mysterious blob.
I think that they think there's either a presence inside of it or that it itself is a presence. And they asked her, did it communicate with you? And she said it reacted to me.
Well, I think that they think, and what the movie wants me to think, is that it's an alien.
Well, sure. Or some sort of supernatural thing.
And so when they go in there, their
be?
Arms kind of start to turn to
human.
plants a little bit. The deers that are in there, their antlers are turning into trees with flowers on them.
I thought they
fun.
were just magical deer. I thought they were
She was
just meant to be
hallucinating.
beautiful. No.
And so there's that, and there also seems to be some action, some shooting, and
And being pulled into doorways.
probably
There's a scary moment where somebody gets sucked.
probably
into
a big
doorway.
twist of some kind.
Sure, but
Can I tell you what I think the twist is?
hang on for a second. I have a comment about that. It's really hard to have a big twist when the entire movie is confusing. Do you
Well,
see what
yeah,
I'm saying? And
but
I think that some sci-fis do that, where the whole movie you don't really understand what's happening, and then when you do, it's supposed to be like a big twist, but you didn't have in
Yeah.
mind what was going to happen anyway.
Not a twist, a realization.
Yeah.
I think that, but like some movies can do that good, and a movie that did that really well was Ex Machina. So
Okay.
there's that. And also another movie that did it well, but they screwed up a little bit at the end, is another movie that this guy wrote that you love called Sunshine.
Oh my God, he wrote that.
Yeah.
Was that based on a book or did he just write it?
I don't know. I didn't see
Probably
if it was
just
or
wrote
not.
it. Oh my God, Sunshine's a good movie, y'all.
Yeah. And so that movie is another example of
And that's
one
sci-fi too.
where you're kind of just going along with these people on this thing, and then something wild happens at the end.
Yeah, like and that's what sucked about it was this really interesting look at like the human condition and how people would react to an extreme situation. And that was interesting and that was good enough. And then he had to throw in this wild thing at the end that was totally unnecessary. But I don't feel like it ruined it for me.
Right. And like in
I feel like it could have been better without, but it also was really scary and interesting.
yeah, it was good. It was a good movie, and I also think that it may have been a little dated in that sense, where they maybe someone needed for that to happen, like a studio.
Yeah, it's
or,
very, very possible that he had it in one direction, and they're like, well, it's got to be scarier and more tangible.
But here's my theory for this movie, and how I think that what is the thing that is happening in this movie is I think it's Earth's revenge.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. I think I was kind of thinking that too. Like, why on earth do they turn into trees? It's
Right.
called Annihilation.
Yeah.
So it's Earth. We've been basically, the idea is we as humans have been destroying the Earth for so long, it's finally found a way to destroy us.
Yeah.
It's kill or be killed, right?
And so I think
Which
that
is kind of interesting.
it's going to, what's going to happen is, first of all, Natalie Portman is going to think that she can help someone. I thought that
her
was
husband.
yeah.
She said that.
I thought
She
that
said,
she's
"I
like,
need to
I
go
can
in."
fix him or something.
Yeah, she said, I need to know why he went in there.
So that's her
I need
motivation.
to know why he went in there. I need to know what happened so I can help him. Maybe
government
I can save him.
or whatever agency this is that are sending people in, their motivation is to stop it.
Yeah.
And then I think that there's going to be a group of people who are already in there who have accepted it and are just, fine with it.
Living life.
Yeah.
They're fine.
Yeah.
They're not, Earth's not hurting them.
No, Earth is hurting them, but they've accepted it.
They're a part of it.
And then I think at the
Well,
end,
it's not hurting them. It's just changing them and they're okay with the change.
I think the last thing that's going to happen is that the Earth destroys all of mankind.
I mean, it's called Annihilation. So what else could it be? But the thing that really interests me about the idea, and we could be totally, completely wrong.
Oh, yeah.
First of all.
It might just
Gotta
be
throw
like a
that out.
spooky alien.
But even if it is, I think it's the same concept. I think it'll definitely be like people destroy the Earth, so the Earth should destroy people.
Yeah, at the very least, that imagery is in there. At the very least.
But I think that the idea, when you hear the word annihilation, that means total destruction.
Annihilation.
Total and complete destruction. So when you think of annihilation, you think of Iwo Jima.
Yes.
You
nuclear
think
bombs.
of, nuclear bombs, just complete flattening of cities and villages, everything dead, right?
Right.
But what I think is interesting is the idea that annihilation, when the Earth is doing it, when the Earth is trying to get back at people, annihilation doesn't look like destruction and death. It looks like life, but it looks like it's just like I said, the kill or be killed idea of it is interesting because it's like we know that as humans we are destroying the Earth. Like whether you understand or trust or believe in any type of global warming or even climate change, that's not really relevant. We know we're destroying it because at the very least we're throwing trash into piles on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're just piling up trash on it.
Yeah,
That's something
if
that
I
we
were to
do.
pile up trash on you, that would be slowly destroying you.
Yeah, exactly. And so regardless of why or how it's happening, we hurt the earth every day. Like we just do. We walk
Ouch.
on it, we build on it, we chop down trees.
Don't step on me.
Right? And so
That's the sound of the earth.
really the only way for the earth to be at its full potential, as far as, plants and all that,
Okay.
is for humans to not exist. Because animals might destroy things here and there, but humanity
Humans are
learned how
animals.
to use. Yes, but I'm saying humanity learned how to use the earth, and rather than live in the earth, we use it up, and other animals don't use it up.
Right.
And so it's interesting because, just the idea that you have to, it's kill or be killed is so interesting to me.
Yeah, I think that
That the earth would try and find a way to
actually-
protect itself.
I hope that that's what this is.
Yeah.
I hope it's not like, because there's a lot of other possibilities. There's always the alien possibility. That's
Mhm.
always part
Yeah,
of it.
sure.
There's always maybe like an afterlife type thing.
Sure.
Maybe it's the Armageddon or whatever.
Yeah.
And also there's the possibility that Oscar Isaac created something to destroy mankind.
Maybe. Yeah.
And so there's all those things that are
But I
flying
think-
around. But what's cool is that even though this is a teaser trailer, this comes out next February.
Mm-hmm.
It
That's not
gives
that
us a
far away.
lot to go off of, and at the same time, basically nothing.
Yeah.
So like we can formulate all of these theories about
We
what
could
it could
talk
possibly
about
be,
it.
but it essentially you have
Going
no
in,
idea what's
you don't
happening
really know.
unless you read the book.
Exactly. Well, I think even if it is aliens or like Oscar Isaac or creating something, I think I would be really surprised if it's not the idea that the earth, somebody, whether it's the earth itself or somebody, is trying to protect the earth. Because that would be weird. Like you said, it has all that symbolism in it. You can see the people-shaped trees and stuff. So it would be weird to not have that.
It's like the people that were turned into statues at, is that Pompeii, that volcano?
Yeah, it's like that, except
Only
trees.
it's trees.
If that makes any sense. It's like a little tree art. But
Chart.
I do think that a lot of people will be irritated and will think, oh, it's some political message they're trying to shove down my throat. But really, like I said, it's not that complicated. Like, it's just an interesting idea of like, what if the earth decided to take revenge on people for dumping our trash on it? Or whatever else we do to it.
Well, I mean, and also this guy does that. That's what he did with Ex Machina.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't know, but
it's like, what happens when our thirst for technology goes too far.
Well, yeah, and so in Sunshine, it's more of a character study on individual people, but the idea is
Actually,
also
all of these movies are
about the earth.
What happens when humans try to play God.
Well, yeah, to a certain extent, except that in Sunshine, the whole thing is that they are trying to play God because the earth is dying. The sun is going to explode.
Well, and
Is that what it is?
It's something like that. Something bad's
No,
gonna
they're
happen
trying to
Earth.
restart. They're trying to like jumpstart the sun because
Yeah.
it's going to die.
They put
They're
a
gonna-
nuclear bomb
They're
inside
going to blow
the
up
sun.
the sun.
And
It's weird. Just go with it.
And in Ex Machina is trying to create life.
yeah.
And
in this
one,
who knows?
Um,
Maybe it's not that. Maybe it's just. I
it's
don't know.
the other ones. It's the
But-
ending of the other ones.
Yeah,
where it's
I
just where the
guess.
Earth is like, you know what? I'm sick of it.
Y'all are screwed up too many times. But in Sunshine, so yeah, they still have this like background story of we're trying to save the earth because it's gone too far, right? Humanity has destroyed it too much or whatever. But really what it ends up being about is what would people do if they were all trapped on a ship facing certain
Yeah.
death.
Yeah,
Because
that's the real meat of the movie.
because they know they're not coming home. Like I think that the plan was to come home, but something goes wrong and they know they're not coming
they
home.
don't have enough
So-
fuel, I think.
And they all have different opinions on what should they do to be heroes, because no matter what, they can't make it home.
Yeah.
They're screwed.
Oh, you're getting a little emotional.
No, I'm not emotional. It's really an interesting look at the human condition. So I think that's what you're saying is this guy, all the movies are connected because it's a look at humanity and our effect on each other and our effect on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really interesting. And
Yeah, the
so
guy's good.
I think it's more about like what if or looking into what could happen
also
rather
did,
than trying to make a political statement about today.
He also did 28 Days Later, which I think is zombies.
Oh,
I think.
I don't know.
No,
Maybe. I
whatever.
didn't. But there's a movie that this reminds me of. What is it called? The one with Will Smith's son.
After Earth?
Yes. Okay, yes. I
That's
think
the-
that's it. With
that's-
Keanu Reeves, right?
No.
No, who's in it?
I was thinking of the one with Will Smith and his son.
Oh, no, not that
where
one.
they have to fly off of Earth.
Not that one. That is After Earth. No, I can't remember what it's called. It was like a
'Cause that's
total flop in theaters.
Probably the worst movie I've ever seen.
It was a total flop in theaters, and I think Keanu Reeves is in it and Will Smith's son. And this was like when Will Smith's son was real young, like right around the Pursuit of Happiness days.
Hardball.
No, his son wasn't alive back then. But anyway.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think his son might have been being born.
How
that
old is
year.
Jaden?
I don't know. 17?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe 18. I think
But
he had
also,
prom recently.
That came out. Wait.
Yeah, well, a couple of years, last year or the year before he had prom.
Do you wear
so.
his little dress to prom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To one of them, and then he wore like a white Batman suit to the other.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, he's an interesting fellow, but we're getting off topic. Okay, Jaden Smith was in it, and I just have to confess right now, that is the one and only time I've ever snuck into a movie theater.
Oh!
Yeah, I'm really a good girl. I
Call
really,
the police.
really don't like doing that.
Get
But
over
at
here,
the
Sting.
At the time, I was in college, and a guy I like wanted.
I
We
see.
had we were early to our movie, and so he was like, "Let's just go do it." And I felt like, well, nobody's in this theater, so
Keanu
clearly
Reeves and
the
Jaden
movie was
Smith.
clearly not doing well. Like the theater was pretty empty, so we just snuck in and we watched the end of it before our other movie started.
Is it
and,
Constantine?
No. It's about Earth. So the idea is these aliens are basically trying to punish humanity for what they've done to Earth, basically. And like I swear at some point there's like giant turtles, like turtle aliens. Oh no. There's like this big orb.
You're making this up.
No.
Yeah, you're making this up right now.
There's like this big orb, and
Uh-huh.
it's taking all of the good parts of Earth away from us. Like you don't get this anymore. So it takes the giant turtles. I remember that. There's giant turtles at some
How
point.
giant?
Like, actual real life size giant tortoises.
Oh, so regular sized tortoise.
But they're called giant tortoises, right?
Well, yeah, but
That's their name.
you can't just say giant turtles. I was expecting like a
Anyway.
30-foot tall
No,
turtle.
like normal turtles.
Like
but-
a cow-sized turtle.
Anyway,
I know that's not
you
30
should look
feet.
it up, Charlie, because I'm telling you it's a real movie. I think it's Keanu Reeves.
I think it's
I'm
Constantine.
pretty positive it's Keanu Reeves. I've seen Constantine. It's not Constantine.
What on
Okay,
earth
so
could
Jaden
it possibly
Smith.
be?
Jaden Smith's in it.
Yeah.
You could look it up if you
All
want.
right, I'll look it up right now.
Jaden Smith, Keanu Reeves. But okay, Jaden Smith is in it, and now I'm just going on a little tangent, as if I haven't already been on this tangent. The only good thing about this movie that I can remember is there's this scene where Jaden Smith falls to his knees and cries. I don't know if his dad died or something terrible has happened. And he falls to his knees and cries. And it's so good, okay? And he's like 7 years old.
The day the earth stood still.
Oh my God, is that what it's called? That sounds like a terrible movie. I can't even believe that I was willing to sneak into that movie. That's so awful. I remember afterwards being like, that was awful. But, and that was even before I was very critical of movies.
See what it got on Rotten Tomatoes.
But anyway, so the day the earth stood still, I would have never remembered
That's
that
really
name.
hard for me to say because of my teeth.
But,
Oof, 21%.
I remember when we left the theater, the guy I was with was just like, how on earth do you get an 8-year-old to act like that? Did somebody kick him in the balls? Because he just like falls to the ground crying, and he was so good. And anyway, I remember being like, well, that was a terrible movie, but at least Jaden Smith did that one really cool cry scene.
Maybe they took away his white Batman suit.
Yeah, his kids went.
Anyway, let's move on to where, when, and how you're going to see this movie.
Okay.
Where? When? How? Are you going to see this movie?
Okay, I'll start it out.
Okay.
So first of all, the thing is, I don't think this will be as bad as The Day the Earth Stood Still. So let me make that clear,
It's unlikely.
just to tie it all together. But I do think it has similar, message. But nonetheless, when and where and how am I going to see it?
Yep.
Right.
That's the questions.
That's what people are dying to know.
That's what they want to hear.
This movie looks really weird and, like I said, slow. And I never saw Ex Machina, but I never really cared to. It wasn't that I thought it would be bad. It just didn't really pique my interest. I
It's
was like,
not your style.
Yeah, I was just like,
I will say that.
there's nothing wrong with it. It kind of looked like Her to me.
No.
Well, I was thinking of it as being like that boring.
You know what? I mean, it's very
Like Her was boring, even though I found it interesting. I was still bored by it.
I feel like it's very Star Trekian, like the
I
TV
like that.
show where they're kind of just walking around and talking to each other and stuff like that, and they do the whole thing with like the human condition and stuff like that in Star Trek and all of that.
That's true.
It's obviously a little bit more
Well, I like looking at humanity.
emotional and artsy.
And I definitely like Sunshine, so I trust this guy a little bit now that I know he did that.
And you like Oscar Isaac, and you like Donald Gleason.
Yeah.
He's the main guy in it.
Okay, yeah, Donald Gleason, he's the redhead?
Nope, Domhnall.
Okay, Domhnall.
Yeah.
He's the redhead?
Yes.
From that farty movie?
Yeah. Wait, no, that's Paul Dano.
Oh, that's who I was thinking of. Then I have no idea who
Donald
Gleason
is the guy. He's the main character in Frank.
Oh.
He's
I
in
think of
the
him
new-
as
he's
the
in-
same guy.
He's in the new Star Wars
I
movies.
think of him as the same guy from the farty movie.
He's in that time travel
Okay, I know who you're
romantic
talking
comedy.
about now. Domhnall. Okay.
Good old Domhnall.
Okay, so yeah, has good actors. It was written by a person who I trust just based on the one movie I've seen. So I will probably see this sometime, but I'm not going to see it in theater.
Oh man.
I'm telling you that right now.
But I'm not gonna see
Unless
this in
something
theater.
happens and all the critics start saying 95% and start saying the movie you won't want to miss. You're going to be an idiot if you miss it. If I get a lot of that, then maybe, but I'm going to say.
Are you gonna rent it?
Yeah, I'm going to say I'll rent it.
Okay.
On a day where I'm feeling kind of sci-fi-y.
See,
Because
'cause
it looks like
I-
a very sci-fi-y movie.
I could see you never seeing this.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
unlike
definitely.
Ex Machina.
But what I'm saying is because I trust the guy, I would give it a chance if somebody else wanted to see it. If somebody really wanted to see it, I would rent it.
Okay.
So I'm not like jumping at the, bit. And I'm also
Chomping.
I would never guarantee that I'm going to see it.
Wow.
It's very likely I will never
It doesn't
see
get the Bethany guarantee.
Yeah, it's very likely I will never see it. There are some movies that get the Bethany guarantee, not this one.
Here's what I think. I haven't been back to this in a while, and I used to do it all the time.
Okay.
But I'm going to recommend it once again. I think you should see this movie by yourself.
Okay, but what are you going to do?
What are you
It's
gonna do?
It's not just it is not just what do you think other people should do. You can throw
Well, yeah,
that
that's
in
what I
there.
want to do.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying it.
Oh, well, you didn't make that
I
clear.
would never recommend something for someone else that I wouldn't do my own.
I would.
Wow.
I'd be like, if you're into horror movies, go see it. Like
This is not a
that
horror
type.
movie.
No, I'm just saying that type of.
Oh, okay.
That's an example of how I would recommend something I wouldn't see myself.
I want to see this movie by myself in theaters.
What? In theaters?
Yeah, in theaters. Sorry, you
That's-
choked me up. You surprised me.
That's so weird to me.
Why?
I can't believe you think that this movie that you literally we got done watching the trailer and you said, so I don't know what happened. Do you?
Yeah, that's
And
why
then I
I
was
want
like,
to see
let's
it.
watch the trailer again. And
I have no
you
idea what's
still have
going
no
on.
idea.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point. That's why I want to see
I just
it.
don't know how it's compelled you enough to want to spend, $13 or $10.
$13.
I don't know how much it cost here.
Where are you going to the
We live in the
movies?
great state of Kansas
You
City,
know,
Missouri.
oh boy. You know exactly how much movies
The
cost
point
here.
is $10.
If you're going to Alamo,
Yeah.
but if you go to a different one, it's like
Yeah.
$6.
If we luck into it,
Luck.
luck into
Just
going
have
to the
drive
cheaper
a little
theater.
further. You psychopath.
Okay. Anyway, I'm just surprised you would spend your money on this, but go
Well-
on. Explain more.
I want to see it in theaters by myself in the back row to be extra creepy.
Oh
And
God,
then-
people are gonna be weirded out.
And I want to just be able to watch it and just, let myself experience it
Mhm.
on my lonesome,
Mm-hmm.
and then leave the theater, think about it, and then never speak about it to anyone ever again.
You're such a weirdo. Okay, so what I am hearing here is that you want to see this movie without me whispering in your ear like what I think is happening
What's going on?
every few minutes and saying like,
Why
wait,
did Natalie Portman
no,
do
no,
that?
no. I am not that bad in theaters.
That
I'm
guy-
not.
I
I'm
know-
not the person that always says what's going on, but
I went to
I
school
am the
with
type
someone
of,
that looks like that guy.
I am the type of person
He
who,
looks just
listen,
like him.
shut up. I am the type of person who would be like, oh my God, I think that he's dead. I think he's actually dead. Like I would say that, or I'd be like, wait, I can't even understand this guy.
You do that though, especially when we're not as much in the theater, but when we
try
watch
not
stuff
to in the
at
theater.
home, you say, "Oh my God, that guy looks like just like so and so
Well,
from high school." Or
Yes,
whatever.
but if
I'm
it's
like,
a really good movie, I
what?
don't say that. I would tell you at the end.
I would tell you.
I'm just saying, if it's a really good movie, then I'm not going to just be talking about BS like that. I'd be into the movie. Like during Police Story 1 and 2, what did I ever say to you? I said nothing.
You said, "Oh, that was awesome."
Yeah, exactly. And then afterwards, we
because
talked.
it's awesome.
But like the movies where I get caught up in stupid stuff, like, oh my God, I hate that shirt. That type of stuff, where that guy looks like somebody in high school. That's when it's not really that good of a movie.
Oh my God, I hate that shirt.
I feel like that would come
That
up
is necessary conversation during a movie.
during a not that great movie.
All right, let's move on to Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
Rotten Tomatoes percentages.
You can start on this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, go ahead.
Why, thank you.
After you.
Oh. So Rotten Tomato percentages. I obviously have no idea. And so
Oh, wow.
because it's like I just
Hang
don't
on,
know what's
but isn't
happening.
that always? That's like a standard with us. Like, why would
No.
we really have any idea?
Because we're close on a lot of them because
That's
we
true.
have history. The trailers
I was
usually say
spot
more.
on one of them.
Yes, you were. You nailed it.
100% correct.
Well, it wasn't 100%, but
No, but I was 100% correct. Oh, gosh.
the trailers usually have a little bit more to them. This is just a teaser trailer. It's hard to
It was pretty long
guess
teaser trailer.
whatever was happening. This guy obviously likes to keep the mystery,
Suspense.
and
Confusion.
I think that critics will maybe give it more just because it's this guy.
Yeah.
And
I
Ex
could
Machina
see that.
was such like a critical success.
Yeah.
Is that right? Probably not.
Yeah.
But I think that I'm going to say that critics are going to give this a 83,
Okay.
and that audience is going to give it a 57.
Oh, okay. I could totally see that. And the reason I say that is because I think, and I don't really remember because this was a long time ago when I saw the movie, but I think the movie Sunshine did pretty decent, but not by audience. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think it did
I
well
have
in the
no idea.
box office. But okay. I'm going to give this one Annihilation. I'm going to say that the critics will like it. They'll be like, that was pretty good. And they'll give it like a 79. They'll say, you know, the big picture concept was really interesting. However, I think that he bit off a little more than he could chew. I think that that's the idea that they're going to have. They're going to be like, we liked where it was going, but he tried too hard. Because it is
well,
a
maybe,
little bit
I mean, like,
too
the idea won't be his.
complicated.
He's
True.
just
That's true.
adapting
Okay,
a book.
so maybe it'll be the book is great. It's a great idea to make into a movie, but he bit off more than he could chew.
Yeah.
Something like that.
What about
I
audience?
think they're going to talk about him biting off more than he can chew.
There's there's going to be biting involved.
So what did I just say? 78?
79.
79. So then the audience, they're going to be very mixed bag. And so I'll give it a 62.
Wow.
Yeah, mixed bag. You know, I mean, it's not going to be more than half of the people hate it, but probably not much more than half liked it. You know what I'm saying?
But
I'm
very interested in it. I will looking forward to seeing Natalie Portman do something that she actually wants to do.
It could turn out to be really, really good.
It could.
Because
you never
that's the
know.
thing. Like, I really loved Sunshine. You
It
said
gave me-
Ex Machina was good.
It gave me a very Arrival feeling.
That's the movie.
Jeez. God, right in the old eardrums.
That's the movie. Earlier, I said it reminded me of a movie. Obviously, it reminded me of The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Yes, clearly.
But there was a movie before that it reminded me of, and it was Arrival.
Yeah.
But you had talked about, you were comparing it to other movies, and I forgot about Arrival.
Yeah, I was comparing
talking
it to
about
Hardball.
Sunshine.
Oh.
You were talking about Sunshine, and then I got lost. Arrival.
Yeah.
Arrival's one of those movies where you don't
really.
really know what's happening, and you have a realization at
Which,
the
hey,
end.
that's another
That's a great
slow,
movie.
quiet movie where you don't really know what the hell's going on until the second half of the movie.
Arrival's a good movie. I would recommend it to anybody.
It's one of my faves of the last 5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
It would be so hard to choose faves in a 5-year time period. A 5-year time period? How many faves do you get?
I don't know, like 80?
Oh. Well, then never mind. That might be hard to find
No, it's
80 that I
basically
love.
just it's like a movie that you like.
You enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was memorable for that year.
It's
Like,
if you
so-
remember seeing it and liking it, then it's a
Yeah,
fave.
in the last 5 years, if it's one that was memorable where you could tell us the year it came out. You know, like if you're like, oh yeah, 2015, that was a good year. And then you said the name of a movie. God. Hang on. And then you said Avengers 2. Age of Ultron, right? That was 2015, right? 2016 was Civil War, so I know that much.
No, that was in like the 1800s.
Stop it.
Ah.
Captain America Civil War.
Oh.
And so I know that Age of Ultron was before that, so I'm going to go ahead and just say 2015.
All right. Well, if you know about this book, Annihilation, and you think that you just want to tell us how wrong we are, or maybe don't do that, but
no, you can do that.
You could heavily imply how wrong we are. You can.
But no spoilers, because some of our fans want to see this and don't want to be spoiled.
No spoilies.
So what you were about to say, though,
what I was going to say
talk to us,
before
right?
I was rudely interrupted is that you could talk to us by going to our Twitter at MTT Podcast. You can tweet at us. You can go to our website, mttpodcast.com. Then we have a Facebook where you search Movie Trailer Trash Podcast, and you can get to our page by doing that. You can go to iTunes and rate and review and subscribe to our podcast there.
Yeah, or on any podcast app.
Exactly. And
if
so
you can't find us on a podcast app that you prefer, if for some reason you can't find us, which would be crazy, tell us and we'll put it on there.
If for some reason you can't find us and you're somehow listening to this right now, let us know.
Hey. Maybe they stumbled upon us on YouTube and they're like, oh, I'm going to put them on my podcast app. And their podcast app is one of the few that we aren't on.
They were looking at us on YouTube and they wanted to be looking at us on MyTube.
Listen, all I'm saying is if there's a podcast app that you prefer, that you'd like us to be on and we're not, just tell us.
Tell us.
Just tell us and like us.
Yeah.
Like us on Facebook.
Like us.
And tell your friends. And tell your friends about us.
Tell
them how awesome we are.
And as always, you should follow Entertainment Buffet at Entertainment Buffet and subscribe to their YouTube channel as well.
All right, guys. We will see you next time. Maybe it won't be so confusing.
Annihilation! Right? Right? Rockadoodle?
Oh, yeah.